Oh, man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is? Tuesday. Brewsday Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah! It's time for Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here is Huck and Big Nate.
Hello, Huck.
Hello, Big Nate.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
So,
So we're gonna go. Yeah, usually we do this show early in the year, and we didn't do it. So we're doing seltzers today, with a twist, of course. Everything's with a twist. Some of them aren't seltzers, but some of them are seltzers. But they all fit the category.
I think non-beer.
Non-beer.
Man, this is a really pale beer. Good lordy. I'm excited because I'm going to give you a little bit of background on me and seltzers. The only time I've had any seltzers, anything resembling that, is when you and Drez were doing Brewsday Tuesday, and you would have some left over. Because for whatever reason, I think Drez wasn't a big fan of seltzers.
No, he's not really. He doesn't.
So I would always have a little bit to sample, and I always enjoyed it. But I did recently, for my very first time, actually go out and purchase one to try it, and it was the White Claw Mango.
Well, let me give you a little history on me and seltzers. So they were invented in 2015. I didn't find one until I think it was like 2018. And so I ran across a Truly seltzer, and I tried a few of them. They were okay, and I kind of liked the mango. And then I ran across the White Claw seltzer, and I tried that, and I did a little research, and it seems that Truly is Boston beer, Sam Adams. White Claw's not so obvious. Not so obvious. Okay, so it looks like, well, White Claw is owned by a company that is owned by Mike's Hard Lemonade. And for some reason, I kept saying, well, White Claw is everywhere, so it must be InBev. But I couldn't prove it, and everybody's calling me a liar. Well, if you go look at the mother country, the company in Canada who has rights to sell in the United States, it is owned by Labatt. And who owns Labatt? Do you remember from last week?
I mean, we just talked about
InBev. So is White Claw InBev? Yeah, kind of, maybe not. Don't know. So anyway, just want to throw that out there. But anyway, so I've been noticing there's like, everybody says there's two ways to make, seltzers. You can malt them, and it's really hard and difficult, or you could just add vodka. So mine is High Noon Sun Sips, and it's basically vodka mixed with flavoring. And I was looking at this, and it's with High Noon Spirits Company. I have no idea who they are, but they're out of California. So this is a black cherry, which is a popular flavor in all of them. So I decided to get that. And you have a black cherry by an actual craft brewery.
This is the Canteen Spirits vodka soda. And
yeah.
So it's the same vodka with natural flavors added. Now, I don't know how committed to the natural flavors they are.
Yeah, I mean, are they real natural
concentrate
flavors?
Or are they in there mashing? I would hope for a craft brewery. And I mean, I've got no, I do have evidence.
What is it?
Ingredients, which is really great. I love when it's simple ingredients on the side. Vodka, purified sparkling water, and black cherry natural flavor, which implies to me that they aren't mashing the black cherries. But 3 ingredients. You can't really.
Yeah, well, they're saying real natural fruit juice.
Yeah, that's definitely probably
flavors
from concentrate.
Right. So anyway, these are just I wanted to try the vodka based ones first, and then we can move on to the malt type. And this is pretty good.
No, I mean, it's hard to mess up. I mean, you don't. My biggest problem when you run into, like you said, you can malt those, and I find when they're malted, stuff like that, it becomes way too sugary.
Well, I don't think that you're going to find that with the Truly or the White Claw, but a lot of the craft brewers, yes, they don't really fully attenuate the sugar out, and you do get a lot of sweetness in theirs.
That's a recipe.
And sometimes it's good. I had a blueberry one that was delicious, but the thing is like in the summer of 2019, I came out and wrote a couple things about, and we talked on the show about how seltzer was the biggest thing ever, and everybody in the beer world, the Karens of the beer world, all came out and they're like, it's Zima. First of all, it's not Zima.
No.
But in any case, Zima was okay.
From what I understand about Zima, I mean, I was a small child when it was big, and then of course they had their resurgence with seltzer kind of making a wave, and that also lasted for a really short period. But from what I understand about Zima, it was essentially just a really, 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 really clear beer. Was it not?
Yeah. And it was kind of lime flavored, as I recall.
I mean,
but anyway, that's what they said. Zima, it's only gonna last a month. And I'm like, I'm looking at these numbers and it's growing at 400% a month, not annual rate, a month. And the White Claw people were building a new place to make it. And Sam Adams was converting a big giant place to make it. And I said, this is not a flash in the pan. So we get to September and everybody's like, it's going to go away in the winter. No, it actually continued to grow in three figures, 100 to 200%, all through the winter. Last year, 220, it's still continuing to grow. And now everybody's making it. And in the next session, I'm going to bring you to the pinnacle of why I think it's mainstream now, but we'll talk about that in the next session. But it's just, to me, I drink a lot of them. I'm a little overweight. I like sugary foods, and I'm pre-diabetic, which means if I don't watch it, I have to check my blood sugar in the morning. And if I'm over 100, then that's a problem. So I don't want to take drugs. So I work out, I ski, I walk, I drive my bike, and I don't have too much sugar. So normally I'll drink seltzers because I can have about 5 of those before I'm in danger. Whereas if I have one craft beer, that's like my carb limit for the whole day. One, like 16 to 24 carbs.
I mean, look at this. This is just looking at the Canteen spirits. And that's kind of something that I wanted to note, probably why I'm going to speculate, and then we'll find out for sure what you think in the next segment. But there's no sodium, no sugars, no carbs, at least in this one I'm drinking. I can't speak for all of them. Only 99 calories.
Yeah, some of them have one carb.
So you could go with what's the Michelob 64, I think. Yeah. That's only 64 calories, but that's a really watered down beer. Or you could go with something that kind of tricks you into thinking you're drinking a soda and it still has that ABV.
Right. And it's like 5%, and most regular beer is 4%. Yeah. So whenever they make fun of me at the Macho Bar, I always say, hey, my beer is a percentage higher than your beer. Sorry.
Yeah. And I mean, I think there's a lot of value to that. As someone, so my two biggest vices probably are, I love beer.
That's not a vice.
But also soda.
Yeah, I quit sodas a long time ago.
It was really tricky for me. And I did try for a while to quit soda. And then I just completely gave up on that because I'm very non-committal with resolutions like that. But soda has a lot of sugar in it. I mean, it's rather unhealthy. I really wasn't looking to make the switch to Cola Zero. You know which one I'm talking about, because the flavor's off.
Right.
But this, I mean, I could easily make that switch and kind of combine two loves at once, or vices, depending on what you call them.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is I drink them because of the calorie, but I like them. I mean, and they're light. They don't bloat you out. They're just a good drinking substance.
Now, do you think, because of course, part of craft brewing is there's that tourism element. People are going to these destination breweries, checking them out. They're going to towns and they're like, hey, let's find a brewery. Do you think I don't even know what they would be called, a seltzery?
No, but most of the breweries now that are good or progressive have a seltzer. They'll have everything, IPA, a wheat beer, whatever, but they most of them now have a seltzer. We were up in, where were we? Down in Tennessee, down in Alabama, and every brewery that we went to had a seltzer.
And I think that's important to offer alternative options. I mean, like for instance, I see a lot of them, at least in my experience. I've had that situation where I've had to go to a brewery and I end up being the DD, which is always an unfortunate position to be in. But you're like, well, I want something to drink. I want you guys to make something for me. And you do see some of them, they'll make root beer, but a lot of the times it's just like, oh, here's a bottle of Coke.
Well, the other thing is I was talking to one of the bartenders in Alabama, and she said, I tasted this seltzer. I said, hey, this is really very good. She goes, well, what I like about it is when we get a couple in there, and you got the beer guy with the beard, and he starts talking about IPAs. And
she's talking about you, man.
I know. And, the long beard. I'm a short beard guy. Let's get in there. But anyway, so the wife's always like, well, you got any wine? No. She says the seltzer's really coming in handy for the non-beer drinking spouse because most of them will like it, or at least be able to tolerate it. while they're sitting there watching their husband try 55 beers.
I mean, that's the other thing is sometimes you just need something that doesn't sit on you so heavy.
Right.
Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I love an Imperial IPA, but sometimes like it's, I just had dinner. I'm already kind of full, and seltzer doesn't have that same filling aspect. So I love that places are moving that way. But I mean, obviously, the primary draw with this situation is the beer,
right,
at these locations,
right. But people are gonna with their significant other, and they're gonna be wanting to go along and see what's up.
So what you're vaguely hinting at, and you pointed out that it has one more ABV. But you also, before we took the air, is that you're secure in your masculinity.
Yeah.
But what you're kind of vaguely hinting at here is that seltzer may not be all that masculine.
Well, that's what people say. Okay. That's what a lot of the manly men at the bars I hang out with, they're like, what are you drinking? Huck, you're drinking a seltzer. What are you a little light on the loafers, if you will? And I was like, well, there's nothing wrong with that. But no. I said, the thing is that I see guys drinking it all the time. Same reason is they don't want to get bloated with the beer. They don't, they're watching their figures too, if you know what I mean. We need to keep our, muscular.
You got to keep your significant other interested.
You can't get that beer belly going too far.
No, I mean, you got to wait till you're years down the line. They're already children and you're both invested in each other. And it's like, then you can let yourself go. No, I 100% get it. And I'm excited for,
but that is a misconception. I think that only women drink seltzers. That's not true. You wouldn't be growing at 400% if only women were drinking seltzers.
No, not. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with taking your health seriously. In fact, everyone's goal should be to live a longer life.
Right.
And if seltzer is going to help you, like I said, for me, I mean, that could easily narrow down 2 vices. I'm not saying I'm going to have seltzer every time. This isn't going to convert me necessarily. Still love beer.
I see Big Nate out there having an early lunch. Yeah, let me have a couple of seltzers with that pizza.
Got to get my work done somehow. All right. Well, without further ado, I say we rate these bad boys. I felt like Drez there. I'm never going to say that again.
We're gonna do
that be his thing.
Untapped thing.
We are going to do the untapped thing. You're Huck's Beer Buzz. I am Horror Show Radio. I'll let you go first.
All right. Well, this is interesting. And again, I'm going to say this is kind of a new category because this is for sure vodka mixed with flavor. So let me take the last sip here. Yeah, it goes down real nice. So I got to start. I can't, well, it's not really, really, really great. I think the black cherry flavoring has that little maybe not natural taste, even though they're natural fruit juices. I'm just saying that there's a little bit of something in there. But it is tasty, so it's good middle of the line, about a 4. And we'll give this a 4 out of 5. And I would have this again. Probably will because I got 4 of them.
So I'm going to precursor this with something that you probably didn't know about me before now. I'm an extremely big fan of my favorite soda in the whole wide world, without a doubt. Could drink one every day if I wanted to. Cherry Coke. So that cherry flavoring has always been fairly important to me. And you know what? Since this isn't a beer, I'm going to feel no shame in giving this Canteen Spirits Black Cherry Vodka Soda a 5 out of 5.
There you go.
I would definitely get this again. And
well, you did kick in a memory brain there. Is when I was a young man, I had a paper route when I was like 12 to 15, 16. Actually, I had 2 paper routes. And I used to, on my way to do the afternoon paper route, I would stop at Haney's Pharmacy in downtown Waynesboro. And it was a straight line pharmacy, and it had maybe 14 bar stools. And I was a chubby kid, and I would sit down at the bar, and I would get a hamburger on a buttered bun that they cooked on the grill, and then a cherry Coke using real cherry syrup.
Making it in, and there's nothing that beats that feeling.
You had to stir it in. And every day, and that's why I gained like a pound a week.
Yeah, no, I always loved the handmade, and I wish soda fountains were still more
there was one
thing. Like if I could go into a pharmacy and order like an actual honest to God cherry Coke.
Well, there was one in Buchanan, but I think they just
closed
last summer due to the problems.
I'd probably be really big.
Large, giant Nathan. You're
listening to Brewsday Tuesday. We are enjoying a little seltzer action, and of course, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store. We're going to play some tunes, and then we'll be right back with some more not quite beer
Yeah.
on Brewsday Tuesday.